Hi, everyone. I hope you're enjoying your virtual orientation so far. My name is Jonathan Wilansky, and I'm a teacher in the Arts, Letters, and Communication program, also known as Arts, Literature, and Communications, or ALC for short. So I'm going to just tell you a few things that you should know about this program. So First, just to talk about the sequence of courses. So I'm sure you've all heard enough about the description of this program and you're aware of what you're getting into, but I'm just going to give you a little bit more specifics. So you'll see with this chart that it's color coded to help you see this. Well, we have theory classes in gray, and then we have studio classes in the other colors. So those studio classes include photography, video, graphic design and illustration, and web development slash blogging. So you'll notice that each semester, as you progress from the beginning to end, semester 1s through 4 here in the chart, going from left to right, that you have a variety of these courses. So we tend to have one theory class mixed with other studio classes. At least that's the case for the first 3 semesters. So you'll see in semesters 1, 2, and 3, you have a theory course that is paired with those other studio classes. So you see at the beginning, we start with the graphic design and illustration and photography. And then semesters 2 and 3, we start moving into video, web production, alongside graphic design. So what I want you to take from this chart is that there's a nice balance and variety of courses in this program. And I think it's really, really great. So you're going to progress semester by semester through the theoretical side of what we're doing, and then balancing that out with studio classes where you're actually going to learn technical disciplines and softwares that allow you to create certain things. The only change, big change is in semester 4 at the end there where you see that big block there for the integration project. So the integration project is the end of program course where you're responsible for coming up with the topic and creating one major project for the class. So it's super, super fun. I think it's really great. You get to choose your own topic and you get to focus on the technical disciplines that you're most interested in. So it's really, really great. So, talking about technical disciplines, um, we focus on using the Adobe Creative Cloud software. So this is really, really great stuff. It's professional software. It's the standard in the industry. So it's really great. And that's what I actually find unique about this program. Though it is a pre-university program, and we're giving you the skills needed to pursue a university education, you're also getting some pretty practical skills out of it. And I think that's pretty unique for a college program. So those practical skills involve learning the Adobe Creative Cloud suite. There are a lot of softwares in this suite. I pulled out the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 softwares that we focus on. So you'll see they're abbreviated here: After Effects, Premiere, Dreamweaver, and so on. So we have software for working with video, Dreamweaver for web. Then we have Illustrator for your illustration classes. Lightroom and Photoshop focus on photography and manipulating images. And then we have InDesign, which is the standard for graphic design. So um, because you're working from home this semester online, it is strongly recommended that you get your own Adobe subscription. So you're a TAV student, which means you could benefit from the student pricing. And you can see the price right there. It's about $27 per month. You might say, oh, that's a lot, but actually it's a pretty great deal. If you compare that to textbooks that you might have to buy for other courses, it's actually comparable. So for $27 a month, you're getting professional software, and you'll have this accessible to you anytime when you're working from home. So it's highly recommended. And check out this link here below for more information or to buy your own subscription. But if you cannot, for some reason, get your own subscription, that's not a problem. Um, Even though courses are online, the college facilities will be open and available to you with some physical distancing measures put in place. So if you do not if you're unable to get the software at home, then you're welcome to use one of the Mac labs at the college. So we have two Mac labs at the college, one on the second floor, one on the fourth floor, where you can actually come to do some work. So the building hours are right there. It's pretty much open all the time during the week, except closing early on Friday. And the weekend is usually on request. So doesn't happen too often, but it tends to happen maybe towards project time or end of semester where you want to you know work on those projects. So keep that in mind. You could work from home, or you can also come to the college and use the Mac lab there. So a couple things about the Mac lab. You're using a guest account. So you open the computer and you choose guest when it asks you to log in. There's no password, so you just click the guest account and it puts you in. But you have to keep in mind that um, the guest account is not your personal account. You cannot save files on that computer and then expect them to be there the next time you come to the Mac lab. That's because all the files on the guest account are erased on logout. So that means you cannot store your files on the computers at the college, and you'll have to come up with a storage solution, which I'll talk about in the next slide. Um, if you ever have any issues at the Mac lab, Hitesh is your guy. He's the IT guy at the college. So if you're at the lab and you have any issues with the computer or any software on the computer, just shoot him an email. It's right there, hitesh28@hotmail.com, and he should get in touch with you pretty quickly. So about file storage, so this is mostly for people, number one here on the left is mostly for people working from home. So, working at the Mac lab. Uh, if you're working at the Mac lab, that means your files are going to be erased when you log out. So you're absolutely going to need a USB stick. I highly recommend you work from the USB stick so that if anything ever does happen, uh, you turn the computer and accidentally unplug it, and the power goes out, you still have the file saved on your USB stick. So highly recommend that you use a USB stick in the Mac lab all the time. Um, this little note here about an external hard drive, that's for your video classes. So you can actually wait to get that until the second semester. Wait until you actually have your video class, and the instructor there will uh, give you the requirements if he wants you to buy the external hard drive or not, and how big it should be. So for now, if you're working in the Mac lab, I recommend you get a USB stick, and they're not expensive. You could find 8 GB will be enough for most of your projects, pretty much everything except video. It's only video files that are big. So an 8 GB, the smallest you could find, 16 GB if you want a bit more and pay a little bit more, you can do that. This second note here about Google Drive, so this is for everybody. Whether you're working from home or in the Mac lab, highly recommend you get a Google Drive account. So why? Google Drive offers 15 GB of cloud storage. That means you can upload files to the cloud, okay, and it's going to be safe there. That's the good thing about Google Drive is it's pretty reliable. Whereas USB sticks, even your computer at home is not. Okay, USB sticks break. Uh, you might forget it somewhere. It might fall out of your pocket, and you might step on it. Might fall into the toilet. Okay, who knows? Every semester, there's always at least one student who has some issue with their files. So, highly recommend keep your files if you're working from home on your computer. If you're working at the Mac lab on a USB stick, that's great. But also, on top of that, get a Google Drive account and then back up your work there. So that's the best thing you can do, and that ensures you will never lose any files. It's it's such a pain if you spend all this time working on a project and just the files disappear. It's really not fun. So Google Drive, get it. 15 GB of storage. If you have a Gmail email address, so if you already have Gmail, then it's connected to your Gmail account when you log in. But if you do not have a Gmail email address, it's not a problem. You can connect it to any email address. So even if you have a Hotmail or Simpatico email address, doesn't matter. You can connect that to your to a Google Drive account. We'll try to provide you some tutorials on this. in the near future, or reach out to us if you need any help. Quick note, if you're working in the Mac lab, no burgers and drinks, no food policy. The only exception to this is a beverage in a closed container to ensure that there's no spilling, no problem. So you might wonder why we enforce that. I think we're just being, difficult, but there's actually lots of reasons. So obviously cleanliness, damage to machines. We don't want you to be responsible for damaging the keyboards or the iMacs. I mean, these are pretty nice machines, and I don't think you want to pay for any damage. But otherwise, also keep in mind this is a shared working environment. So you're not alone there. Think about things like odor, maybe even allergies that could be dangerous. Okay, so try to keep the Mac Lab a workspace for you to be productive and a positive working environment, and avoid distracting other people with your food. And also, little side notes, avoid distracting yourself. So if you're eating, you're not working. And if you're working, you're not eating. It's really hard to do both at the same time. You might think you could multitask and you're a super multitasker. The truth is, you're just doing, less than 100% of each activity. So you're really switching between both, and it's really counterproductive. I highly encourage you to focus on what it is you're doing. So if you're working, work. And if you want to eat, take a break. Breaks are great. Take a break, go to the cafeteria area, go wherever you can enjoy your snack, take your break, and then come back to the Mac lab to do your work. Borrowing equipment. So we do have some equipment available to you. We're going to have to figure out how to do this given that we're doing stuff online, but just keep in mind we have digital cameras, video cameras, and one microphone available for your projects if you need it. So stay tuned for some more information about that. In the past, it was done, you leave us your Medicare card or driver's license, and you can get the equipment for 24 hours at a time, keeping in mind there's a hefty late penalty to encourage you to bring it back on time. OmniVox, I'm sure you've heard a lot about OmniVox by now. I just want to reiterate that it is important. It's even more important now that we're working online. So your teachers will use this for distributing course material to you. So definitely in the ALC program that you're in, we use it as well. Okay, so use it to access assignment descriptions, check your attendance validation, check your grades, and also Mio. So Mio is the email platform for communicating. You can use it to contact us. It's very, very easy to use. So definitely get familiar with OmniVox through your student ID, and you can get it on your computer. You can even get a mobile version. So there's a version for your mobile phone. It's a little bit, it has limited features, but it's still pretty good. So our program, what you're seeing in this slide is a cat and a student stressed out and tired studying from exams. So the good thing about the ALC program is our studio courses are not exam based, they are project based. So most of your courses will have a final project, if not all of them will have a final project. And I think that's really great. So you can expect to um, get busy making things in this program. Making things mostly digital, so mostly inside the computer. But yeah, so we don't have exams. I think the only exception is my web production course, where you do have an exam. But otherwise, it's mostly project based, and I think that's super fun. Usually, you get to create something based on some kind of topic, so there's always this balance of the conceptual side of things, the ideas behind your work and what you're trying to communicate, and then there's on the other side the technical packaging of what it is you're creating. So whether it's a photo, a poster, a video, a website, that's the technical packaging for your message. And usually your projects and assignments will have some kind of balance between these two things, the idea behind it and the technical production. A little note about ergonomics, very, very important. Speaking of technical production, because you will be using the computer a lot. and even more so because courses are online. So I do want to point out ergonomics is very important. You're all young and strong, and it's might seem like it's not a big deal, but trust me that spending a lot of time at the computer could be not only tiring, but it could become painful, even dangerous. Okay, so it's important that you get set up well if you're working from home, that you have a decent chair, that the keyboard and monitor are set up at a correct height. Um, and most importantly is you need to take breaks. Okay, you should not be sitting at a computer for an hour and a half. So the minimum, I hear people saying 15 minutes, every 15 minutes you should get up and move, ranging to maybe 45 minutes at the maximum end. So you should definitely take breaks between 15 minutes and 45 minutes and use it as an opportunity to rest your eyes as well. It's very important. If you're staring at a screen for a long time, it could be bad. So make sure you take breaks and go out and look at the window, look at things in the distance. I know it's not so much fun to talk about, but take care of your body now. You only have one, and it's very important. There will be more information about this available online if you don't catch everything from this slide. So yeah, don't worry about that. And a last little note about cell phones. So this is something I usually talk about when we're in class, uh, but we're doing it online, so it's a little bit different. You have a lot of responsibility on your end to maintain your activities, to be responsible for your work and keeping up with your courses. So normally I talk about how cell phones are a distraction in class. It's strictly forbidden in the student code of conduct. Um, but people still tend to try and use their cell phones. It's a huge distraction, and like the eating thing, I encourage you to focus on what it is you're doing at the moment. Okay, so now that you're doing this from home, you have a whole different challenge ahead of you, um, to stay on top of things. And the best advice I could give you is uh, get into it. Try to enjoy what it is you're doing, and it'll be so much more fun for you to immerse yourself in the work and realize that the education you have is an opportunity, and to really take advantage of that to learn and grow and to do some amazing things. So that's it for me. That's all I have to say for now. I hope you're excited to get started with the program, and I look forward to actually meeting you, whether it be online or soon, hopefully not too far away in person. So, yeah, I really look forward to meeting you soon. So, take care and be safe, be well. Bye bye. If you have any questions, get in touch with us. Forgot to say that. We're here for you. Okay. So get in touch with me. I'm a teacher here. Get in touch with your teachers anytime you have a question or concern. And of course, the administration for other matters as well. Don't be shy. Be in touch with us. And yeah. All right. Thank you. Take care.